Hi, I'm Abby Hegland. I'm a sophomore at UW-La Crosse, and this is my story. I grew up in a loving home where my parents were always really encouraging to me. They got me involved with a lot of things at a really young age. We went to church most Sundays. I was involved with youth group on Wednesday nights, and I spent a lot of time in the summers at church camp. For me, this was a really big part of my life and just something I was always really excited for. It was kind of something where I just would go for the week and feel really on fire and really passionate and excited, but then I would leave that week and it would always fade within the next week. It was nothing I really knew how to keep up or continue, and starting in 8th grade I just really began to be consumed by my insecurities about my body image and about what people thought of me. Starting in middle school, I just had some idea that if I was skinnier, then I'd be happier, then I'd be prettier, more accepted. So starting in 8th grade and all throughout high school, I struggled a lot with unhealthy eating habits, over-exercising, things like that, just thinking that if I was skinnier, then I would be happy. But I quickly realized that this wasn't true, and I began to find my identity in people and the approval of people. And so I lived to try to please others, which quickly led to the approval from guys. I was in a long relationship in high school, and that boy quickly became an idol in my life. I put him before my friends, before my family, before God, and just wanted to spend every minute with him and spend a lot of time just waiting around for him. And I just found a lot of my happiness from being with him and in that relationship. So I found myself also just justifying a lot of my actions, which led to me quickly falling to sexual sin with him and getting consumed by that, but thinking that it was okay, and just telling myself these lies, that all the reasons that it was fine. So I found a lot of my self-worth in that relationship, which obviously left me pretty devastated once we broke up. Because I found so much of my happiness in him, I didn't really know what to do from there, so I began to seek my approval and happiness from other guys, and it just really quickly hit me that that was not fulfilling, and this place in my heart that I just wanted to be loved was not being filled by these guys at all. And the summer after my senior year, I went on this mission trip to West Virginia, and this week was just awesome, of people like pouring into me and just being able to be with other believers, and just, I think it was the first time that I really became vulnerable with myself, and just the first time I really let my heart soften and realize where I'd been in the last few years and what I'd been living for. So then I went into college, and I got involved with Cru, our campus ministry, right away, and got involved with our Bible study, which was a huge blessing for me. It was my first time just being in like a really awesome community, and I started to see that the Lord was blessing me with these things, and that God was putting people into my life for a reason. But I still had this idea that because of my past, I wouldn't be able to be to the same level as them, and that I wasn't good enough because of where I've been. But there was a speaker one week at Cru who talked about forgiveness, and how if we are not trusting that God has forgiven us of our sins, we're believing the devil's lies, that God's power isn't great enough to forgive us. And for me, this was a really huge day, and just realizing that I'm not defined by my past, and that's why Jesus came to the earth. He came here and died for our sins so that we can be forgiven, and that we have a chance to live life eternally with the Lord. And that was just a really monumental day for me, and just knowing that nobody's perfect and we are forgiven of our sins. And from that day, I begun walking with the Lord, and I just wanting to live my life for Him daily, doing all things to glorify Him instead of to bring me a momentary pleasure, just to live for eternity with God. So it's something I still struggle with, to trust God with every aspect of my life and just to give myself completely over to the Lord every single day. But I continue to rely on His strength to get me through each situation, and He continues to bless me and grow me and teach me more every day. So that's my story. Thank you.